Hello Virgo, welcome to your bonus reading here on Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. If you're watching this reading was meant to find you. Please hit the like button, leave a comment. Consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. Now this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger. And I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Virgo, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. Okay, Tower card. This is a great burst of energy. This feels to me like a sudden wave of creativity. This is a sudden breakthrough, right? It almost feels like a very sudden, like a kundalini experience, right? We're not really ready for it when it happens. It could be something that we've been working toward for a long time, or something that we knew was sort of coming down the pipe. But when it gets here and it causes its changes and it works its energy on our lives, it's very disruptive. This might be something that we're invoking ourselves, but we're never really ready for it, okay? I feel like this is probably a very good card for you, because I feel like this is the breakthrough that we've been waiting for. This is the leveling up. This is the explosion of success in your life, that it's going to be a whirlwind, right? I think you're somebody that doesn't really like surprises. You like things to be sort of calm and expected and routine, but then this is a surprise, okay? But again, this is something I think that you've been working toward for a long time. So we sort of knew it was going to happen. We didn't really know when or what it would look like or how it would feel, and then suddenly it's here. It's almost like you, it's like it's the old, what is it, the Jack in the Box. You're turning the handle. It's going to pop out at some point, right? So we're expecting it. But every time that thing pops open, my daughter's got one. She's 4 years old. Every time it pops out, it startles you, right? Think of that, but maybe times a million, okay? Let's put this card into a little bit of context. Let's see what this big change is that's taking place in your life, okay? Next card is an Ace of Pentacles. We've got the Chariot card. We've got a Ten of Cups, the Hanged Man, and the Four of Cups. This is something that is taking your life to the next level. I feel like it's going to be the beginning of kind of a new path for you. Maybe it's a new creative opportunity. Maybe it's a new job. Maybe it's a new relationship. But I feel like this is kind of, I can't help it, but it reminds me, really, these two remind me of something being shot out of a cannon, like in the old circuses or the old carnivals or something. That's what this reminds me of, because this seems like something is just being shot out of a cannon, and who knows how far it's going to go, okay? And I think that this is really the beginning of really a whirlwind of success for you. And, it's going to be fast. It's going to be disruptive. It's going to cause a lot of changes in your life. And I think that you have a tendency to get overwhelmed with things a little bit. Okay, we got this Ten of Cups back here, but a Four of Cups in the future. It's kind of like we're trying to really deal with this in the proper way. Right? Because if we just let ourselves go, I feel like we're not going to stay in control of this. It's going to overwhelm us, and it's going to probably crush you, because this is so intense. It's so powerful. So it's really important that we maintain discipline, that we try, Four of Cups. We don't let ourselves get too carried away with excitement, that we just try to breathe, calm down, that we can do it. Like it's kind of the panic attack we get when things are just so good and so exciting. And it's like you win the lottery, and it's just kind of like then we start to have a panic attack. Never happened to me, but fingers crossed one day. this is kind of what I'm feeling here, is that we've got to try to manage our emotional reaction to this success, to this new opportunity. This is like you're winning the jackpot. This is like you've won the lottery, or this is like you've gotten the job, or you've gotten the record deal, or your book's going to be published, or someone has said yes, someone has accepted your proposal, and it's something that's really going to happen. The work starts here, right? And so as excited as we're going to become, we've got to be also in control, okay? Wow. Tower. We haven't been getting the Tower card at all in the last few readings, right? And then suddenly now you get it first card out of the box. It's crazy, right? If there's anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Let's put the rest of our cards on the table, and then we'll go through here one by one. So we've got a Knight of Pentacles. We've got a Queen of Swords, a Six of Wands, and a Three of Pentacles. Work, right? And like I said, the work starts here. So this is really, this is now something that's, I feel like it's unlocking your true potential. I feel like, the Tower really could be, a lot of barriers, a lot of walls in your life coming down. It may be that your whole life is crashing down. What's left standing is your eternal spirit, your creativity, your will, your wand, right? And I think that this is kind of it's almost like you're being unleashed, It's like you're being let out of this tower. You're being let out of this kind of imprisonment. And now it's like, now life really begins, but now the real work begins too. Okay? Maybe this is a spiritual awakening for you. Maybe this is an awakening to the realities of your life and the limitations that we've been living within. The life that we've been living within is a very, very limited and closed life. And now you're sort of exploding onto the scene, and you're pursuing your potential. You're putting in the work to fulfill your potential. Okay? This is extraordinary. I love this. A lot of things to talk about here, but the Three of Pentacles at the end, yeah, the work starts now. Okay? We're going to select our mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the Factor, Infinite, and Unknown. It's going to go right here with our very own Kelly Kapoor right on top. And now we're not going to look at that card until the very end, all right? But it will tie everything together, and it will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. If you have a prediction, put it in the comments, all right? Let's look at around the room here. Interesting thing that I'm seeing is this sort of pillar or tower of major arcana energies. I feel that there's water on either side. There's water all over. You're surrounded by this water. Okay? And it is this explosion of fire in the middle. It's very interesting. It's like an under the sea volcano, But the Tower of Major Arcana tells me that this is something that is leading you to the fulfillment of your potential. Okay? And it's going to require a lot of sacrifices from you. It's going to be work, right? The path, the work starts now, right? It's going to require that you start speaking your truth, that you let this creative energy flow forth from you. And the Hanged Man it's almost telling me that the ego really has to just kind of acquiesce. The spirit has to just go with the ego has to go with the flow of spirit here. Okay. The Chariot is about the discipline. It's about your in some ways the Chariot seems to me a card of the comfort that we had staying home. It's almost like we've sort of learned how to live inside that tower, and it's comfortable there. We've made it our home. And now this tower is kind of like, it's upsetting everything. But it is revealing the truth to you, okay? So it's through, this is literally an awakening where we're sort of waking up, scales are falling from our eyes, we're realizing what limitations we have on our life, and we're taking those walls down. And now you're able to really start working on fulfilling your life and fulfilling your potential, right? I think the Ten of Cups in the background here is indicating that, yeah, you know what you're capable of in life. You know the kind of life that you want. And I wonder if the Four of Cups is kind of saying, without this tower, we're not going to get the Ten of Cups life. We're just going to get our Four of Cups life. Right? We keep doing what we've always been doing, and we're going to get that. Okay. This kind of looks like a tower. If you're looking down from the top, this seems like the top of the tower. And maybe that's what you're doing here in the environment in terms of your relationships and everything in your environment. You're trying to get that sort of top-down, bird's-eye view of things. And you're looking at your life and you're thinking, if I keep doing what I've been doing, I'm just going to get that Four of Cups. Life's going to be okay. It's not going to be great. The boat's not sinking, but the boat isn't sailing into, that infinite ocean either, right? I'm not getting the Ten of Cups. This is what the potential is, and this is what we may just have to settle for, right? But the Tower is coming in to say, you know what, no. That we have to take down those barricades. We have to get rid of those walls that are preventing us from getting the full 10 of Cups, of really fulfilling our potential. And so the Tower then becomes almost kind of an insane drive, right? An intense fiery energy, especially if there's all this water energy around you. And the water energy in this case is it's slow, it's cool, it's calm, it's saying, everybody, let's just be comfortable here, right? And you're kind of in the middle of that with this almost a rage, right? This is fire in the middle of all of this water. It's going to create a lot of steam, which tells me that you're so absolutely consumed by your sense of purpose, almost obsessed now with this driving force to see the truth, speak the truth, and fulfill your potential and get all those cups, right? That it maybe is putting you at odds with your circumstances. That you are this fiery, creative tower in the middle of all of this relatively tepid water, right? Even the 10, the 4, the Hanged Man, the Chariot, there's no movement there. This is just like, it's water, it's just sitting there. But this is movement. This is intense activity. This is an explosion of creativity, an explosion of drive. I almost wonder if you're waking up one day and realizing that you've been asleep. And you're waking up and thinking, wait a minute, I'm not sleeping anymore. And then you just start going hard on whatever purpose you have, whatever it is that you're doing. Yeah. And I feel like that's the way. I feel like really this is a sudden awakening. I almost feel like it's a spontaneous Kundalini activation, and suddenly it's here, and there is this fire, there is this motivation, there is this drive in you. It is absolutely extraordinary. I think the ego sort of has to take a back seat. I think that we get out of our comfort zone, we get out of our sort of familiar surroundings, and you're doing something extraordinary. You're making your life extraordinary, which is going to put you at odds with people around you. I think that you're kind of looking at life and you're thinking, I don't want the same old thing anymore. You're looking maybe at what other people are doing in your life, friends or family, you're saying, I don't want to do what they're doing. I don't want to settle for that 4 of Cups. There's more out there for me. There's more in here from me. And let's do it, right? Very interesting cards today, Virgo. It feels a bit like a prophecy. This is I'm shocked to get that Tower right away. And the Tower is kind of, I think it's coming just as much a shock to you as it is to everybody around you. That one day we just wake up and suddenly we're changing our life. It's kind of like we're doing a 180 in life. And, we always hear this thing, well, we should do things gradually, right? Don't want to make too many big changes in your life all at once. Do it slow and easy and steady, and slowly make changes. I feel like you're saying, okay, no, enough of that. I've done that. Didn't work. What we need is big change, abrupt, quick. We don't want to just slowly peel the Band-Aid off, right? You rip that sucker right off. And I feel like whatever limitations you've been putting on your life or on yourself, unconscious ones, defense mechanism, buffers, things like this, I think you're stripping it all down. And it's just this pillar of fire. Yeah. And we have other fire here too. We've got our Six of Wands, and this is in the difficult position. The difficult position, I think, is going to be for you to really to be willing to be part of a team again, okay? Because it feels like this is taking you away from. It's almost like you're in a team, but like the team, they have no ambition. The other people around you just don't care. They don't want to do anything. They're not interested in fulfilling their potential. They're not interested in working hard and pushing forward and achieving something, And so that could be why we're just this. I feel like you're a rocket ship, I feel like you're taking off and you're leaving everybody else behind. If they're not feeling that fire and that fight, and if they're not hungry like you're hungry, then I feel like you're just kind of. It's almost like this Ace of Pentacles is the launch pad, and the Tower is just taken off from that launch pad. Okay, and so it's going to be difficult for you to then be comfortable getting together with another group of people, because you function very well on your own. You're the Hermit card after all, right? So you function very well by yourself, and you're like, I don't know if I want to join forces. I don't know if I want to be part of a team. Because you've done that, and it's sort of dragged you down. It's extinguished your fire a little bit, because, we surround ourselves with people that are content and complacent and don't have a ton of motivation or ambition, and just kind of are comfortable and satisfied with the Four of Cups life. Sounds nice, right? We start to kind of feel that way too. We start to think, yeah, maybe there's something to this floating around on the ocean kind of aimlessly vibe. It's nice. It sounds cool, right? Once you get away from that and you start pursuing your goals and you have this ambition, like I feel like you're changing so much about your life right now. I feel like this something is happening to you, and it is as if you are launching from a launch pad, or being shot out of a cannon, or whatever picture you want to paint of this. It's wild, right? But this other Six of Wands, I think, is going to be a challenge, okay, for you to to find other people that are going to have the same kind of fiery energy that you have, the same drive, the same ambition, the same hunger, okay. And of course, we got our water cards. We've got our air card. And we've got our earth card. We have 3 of these earth cards. And I like the earth card very much, especially the Knight of Pentacles, because this is some of that Capricorn energy. This is some of that hunger, some of that driving energy. The Devil card maybe is going to be that mystery card. Fingers crossed on that one too. Fingers crossed for hitting the lottery, and fingers crossed for the Devil card. The Knight of Pentacles is looking at the future, looking at this huge mountain and looking at the goal up top and thinking, that's the mountain of myself, right? That's the mountain of my potential. I can fulfill that, or I'm going to get as close as I can. I'm going to die trying, And so really it's like if we're being shot out of a cannon, this is our ability to see where it is we want to land. I want to land at the very top of the mountain. I want to hit a bullseye in life. I want to know myself, and I want to be able to fulfill my potential. So the Knight of Pentacles is always looking at the future, and I think that what's happening with you, Virgo, is that you're beginning to realize that there is a different future out there for you. At the end of your life, you'll look back and you'll review all of the things that you did, and you'll think, okay, Four of Cups life. all the things that you didn't do. Or you'll look back at your life and you'll say, I did everything that I could. I got as close to this absolute fulfillment of my potential as humanly possible. I never gave up. I never quit. I faced my fears. I never quit. I kept going. And we may not ever fulfill all of our potential. I think our potential is infinite, personally. But we can get pretty darn close, right? And the idea is not some arbitrary marker of, okay, I got a 9.5 cups. Well, my potential is fulfilled. Good night, everybody. No, we keep going. We say, I got a 9.5. I'm going to do a 10.5. I'm going to do a 20 of cups. I'm going to do a 1,000 of cups if I can. We're just going to keep going, right? And I feel that the Knight of Pentacles wants to have that kind of future, wants to be at the end of life and think, well, I kept going till I couldn't go anymore. I kept pursuing my potential. That doesn't mean that you have to be running marathons or doing anything like physically demanding, because as we get older, maybe we're going to kind of move away from the more physical stuff. I hope we stay active, But we're going to be interested perhaps in different things. We're going to want different things. We're going to love different things. And I think that's really what the Ace of Pentacles is all about. That we realize that there's a different way of living. It's not really about doing something different. It's not about the what. It's about the how and the why. And the thing is, we want to create. We want to know who we're going to be, where we're going to be, and what we're going to be doing in the future. And we want to be able to look back and say, that was the moment I woke up, and from that moment on, I was pursuing my potential. I was working toward a self-fulfillment. This is a prophecy that we can fulfill. It's one of those self-fulfilling prophecies. And I think really all of us live a life that is a self-fulfilling prophecy. Let's make sure that we're believing in the right prophecy, right? The prophecy that we can be a 10 of cups, that we can achieve a 10 of cups life, that we have a potential and we can fulfill it. Okay? And then, of course, we wake up to that fact. And I don't know what the catalyst is for you waking up. I don't know if it's just a sudden awakening. I don't know if there's, maybe the Ace of Pentacles is saying that there's one thing that's going to happen in your life very soon, if it hasn't already. And if it has, maybe you tell me what that one thing was. One thing is going to happen that's going to be like the straw that broke the camel's back. It's going to be the last straw, right? And from that moment, whatever that does, it activates something in you. And this fiery energy comes out, and maybe it kind of begins as this explosive energy. Maybe there's a lot of fighting. Maybe it's kind of it's a frustration. It's just like when the Hulk, becomes the Hulk, and at first it's just like this uncontrollable rage, But we manage that. We begin to discipline that fire energy. Because the tower really is a power that's within you. It's a spiritual force, okay? And I think we can't control it fully. We can't predict when it's going to happen. But we can we can learn to direct it. You know what I mean? It's like you got a flamethrower and it's just going crazy all over the place. Well, we can grab it and we can't turn it off. We don't know when it's going to activate, but we can try to direct it a little bit. If this is a rocket ship, we maybe can't control when it ignites the engines, but we can sort of steer it a little bit. And I think there is one thing that's happening that is waking you up, that is going to be the last straw. And then I think the Hanged Man then becomes, I'm done sacrificing my potential for this Four of Cups life that ultimately I don't even want. Don't even care about it. I know there's more out there. I'm not happy with a Four of Cups. Maybe the Four of Cups was this position in life right now that was meant to be temporary. And maybe the Hanged Man is saying that I've yielded to that. I've surrendered to that Four of Cups life. And the Tower is kind of that wake up, And again, your third eye is open. at the top of that card. And of course, your mouth is open because you're speaking your truth. That you're doing it. You're making changes. You're speaking things into existence. I am, right? And of course, the Chariot card. We need the discipline. We need to be able to sort of control ourselves, right? So that we can utilize this moment and this surge of energy and channel it into the right things so that you do change your life and you get closer and closer to your 10 of Cups. And so the future that you see for yourself now is looking quite good, right? It's kind of like Marty McFly in Back to the Future, where all of his actions and decisions and choices and all the events sort of change that photograph that he's looking at, And so I see that now you're beginning to envision, you're beginning to see that there's a different future for you. One that you like a lot better, Not a future of a 4 of Cups where at the end of our life we realize that now, there's so many things I could have done, so many talents and skills that I had, so many things I wanted to do but I didn't do. And that we're going to look back at our life and think, damn, I did a lot. I lived a full life. Yeah. We've got to be able to discipline some of this energy. Moving to the path of the serpent. By the way, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. It is totally free. It doesn't cost anything. Your general energy, we talked about that with the Knight of Pentacles. Once we see the mountain, we see the summit of the mountain, we're sort of, we get fired up and we begin the journey. Right? I don't think that you're sort of moseying out of the gate. I think you're shooting out of the gate at full speed. Like a cannon, like you're shot out of a cannon, like literally, like a rocket ship, launching through the gate, rather than just slowly making these changes. The interesting thing here is the Queen of Swords in the environment, talking about relationships, talking about how you relate to everything around you. It's really the way that you've been relating to all of this water energy that's surrounding you, right? And the water energy to me sort of feels like an insulation. It feels like a moat around you. That's just kind of making you feel like it's nice here, it's pleasant here. Maybe this is all there is, It's sort of it sort of represents the 4 of Cups altogether. That you're here in the middle as this, still intact tower, and you've got all of this water energy surrounding you, and it begins to feel like, okay, this is life. This is all there is out there. And this is the water that we're supposed to sort of travel upon. But if we rise up in our imagination and we look at our lives, we can see that, wow, it's limited. I think this is about perspective. I think this is about getting that objective view of our lives. And with that tower, the realization that there is so much more that you're capable of, there's so much more that you want, and now there's so much more that you're going to do, that your future does not have to look exactly like this. Okay? I think it's also the recognition that the things in your environment, the position that you've placed yourself, wherever you are in life and whatever you're doing, is, I don't know how to phrase this, it feels like small potatoes. Okay? And I don't know what you're doing, and I'm not trying to criticize the way that you've been living your life till now, right? But it feels as if you're getting this perspective and you're realizing that there's so much more out there and in there. There's so much more that you're capable of. So we're breaking out of this isolated or insulated little island, right? If you're surrounded by water on all sides, well, what does that make you? It makes you an island, right? And it may feel as if staying close to this island is the way to go. That this is what life is. This is where it is. But we realize that there's an infinite ocean on all sides of us. And that is, I think something that you also know intuitively about yourself, that there is this infinite ocean of potential, and whatever it is that's happening is waking you up. Almost feels like one of those Truman Show moments. Okay? But this is the objective view of our surroundings, our environment, our relationships, and how we are relating to the environment. Relating to the environment by just trying to stay here, stay home, stay comfortable, sacrifice any higher aspirations for the sake of the, the peace and the calm, That we see the Hanged Man, and that's kind of like, oh yeah, we could see how we've been sacrificing our real aspirations. Okay? We can see how we've been trying to be happy in the life that we have when, there's kind of this desire to go out on this larger quest of life. And as we talked about the Six of Wands, it's going to be difficult for you to ever kind of settle into another place like that, because it's kind of like, fool me once, shame on you, right? Fool me twice, no, not so nice. So the victory, the teamwork really is what this card is all about. Victory through kind of functioning as a whole, This is in the difficult position for you. This is the obstacle for you. Because it's going to take some time before you really feel like you've found your people, or you've found like the place and the right conditions, the right environment, the right team. Yeah. And especially going through a situation like this where it reinforces this idea that you're stronger by yourself, that you're more capable. You want to direct your own life, you want to fulfill your own potential, and you don't want to acquiesce to anybody else's will, and you don't want to sacrifice yourself to anybody else's. You don't want to get in any little box or any little tower that's going to restrain you from fulfilling your potential. So you're kind of leery of teams right now, and that's okay. I think this is something that's going to happen over time, where you're going to find the right set of individuals, the right environment, the right place, the right job, the right friends, whatever, chosen family. You're going to surround yourself with the right people that are going to be just as ambitious as you are, and that are going to support you, and that are going to, to encourage this kind of, fulfillment. Yeah. The Three of Pentacles at the end there, it's another card that's sort of talking about teamwork. It really is just a card of work, okay? And we understand that this new life that we're embarking upon, it's going to be difficult. The Three of Pentacles is the blood, sweat, and tears that we're going to have to put into this, which if we had the right people with us, it would make it a little bit easier or a little bit more fun or enjoyable, on the journey. But regardless of that, you know what it's going to take to put in all the work. You know whether you're starting a new business, or you're changing your life, or you're going to move, or whatever it is. It's going to be hardship. It's going to be work. It's going to take a lot of physical effort, a lot of resources, a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of energy. Okay? But what else are you going to do? Go back to the little tower and stay, in that little Four of Cups? I don't think so. I think the work starts now. The real work. Following your will, fulfilling your potential. Let's look at this mystery card. I'm still thinking devil energy here. But maybe we'll get like a Nine of Pentacles or a Nine of Cups. If you have a prediction, put it in the comments. Let's see what we have. Temperance. Temperance, balance, a mixture between fire and water. In other words, we, first of all, tempering that fire, that explosive fire energy, we got to temper that. We got to discipline that. We got to be able to control that, okay, and direct it where it needs to go. First, temperance, right? We got to temper ourselves down a little bit. Temperance also as in forging the steel, right? Becoming as hard as steel, becoming invincible, becoming unbreakable and unshakable. Okay? And it is really through the fire of that tower moment that is solidifying in you this new path or this belief or this commitment to yourself and to your potential, right? So I feel like that's kind of what's going on here, is that this event, whatever this wake-up call kind of thing is, it really is solidifying this decision in you, in this new path. Okay? And yes, and you are going to be unshakable. This is also the card of the pressure cooker, right? And so to me, it's saying that, look, life's going to get hard. Life's going to get infinitely more difficult for you. But this is the right kind of difficulty. This is the hardship we want in life. We're going to have challenges either way. We're going to suffer either way. Why not suffer for our own potential and for the fulfillment of our lives, rather than the suffering of kind of being stuck here in this little tower? This is kind of saying that, look, you're changing your life, or you're embarking out on your own. You're going to encounter a lot of difficulties. It's going to be very challenging, a lot of pressure cooker situations. But each of those pressure cooker situations are going to strengthen your character and strengthen your resolve and your commitment. The idea here is that we don't want this pressure cooker to become yet another tower. So, we have to be able to, and I think if we're doing our will, if we're following our purpose, I think there is the necessary rewards, the necessary experiences that sort of relieve some of the pressure. And so we can endure these pressure cookers without the explosion, right? I mean, that'd be really bad. And so even with this current situation, it makes me wonder if this sort of became a pressure cooker situation, and it's really the pressure not of following your true path or following your purpose, but the pressure building up from within, where you realize that you just cannot be content here. And so that pressure cooker was coming from inside of you, with the idea that change has to happen. And that tower is kind of saying that there's one straw that kind of broke the pressure cooker, right? And caused this explosion, and now things are changing. Because this was a situation that you just internally could not continue to live under the weight of this. Does that make sense? To be in harmony with this, to force yourself in this, I think was building up this pressure within you, and it's coming to a head now. But I think this is a very good confirmation card, and I think it really wraps everything up nicely. And I think that your life is going to get infinitely more difficult, but infinitely more rewarding. Yeah. Now we're going to do an extended reading. I hope you'll stick around. We're going to do a hexagram from the Jing. We'll do some other oracle cards. There's a link up top. There's a link down below. New readings for Virgo on Tuesdays and Saturdays. Be sure to watch both readings. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It is totally free. It doesn't cost anything. And leave a comment. Let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you, and we're all in this together.